Welcome to the lecture hall of the night. The heavy oak doors have closed and the noise of the outside world has slowly faded away. Here, the air is quiet and the lights are low. Time seems to move a little more gently. I am the sleepy professor, and tonight there is nothing to memorize and nothing you need to solve. Instead, we will simply wander for a while, following a quiet trail of ideas through the universe. So find a comfortable place to rest and let your shoulders relax. Let the weight of the day slowly drift away. Our subject tonight is something vast, the architecture of the infinite. The Milky Way, our home galaxy, turning gently through the deep velvet darkness of space. Look up, even if only in your mind. The starlight touching you tonight is something like a ghost. It has traveled across vast and silent halls of space before finally reaching you. When you see a star, you are looking at a moment that has already passed. The light you see tonight may have begun its journey long ago, before empires rose and fell on Earth, and perhaps even before the first human voices were ever spoken. In this way, the night sky becomes a mirror of the past, a quiet and silver archive of moments that once were. In our galaxy, distance and time are gently woven together. The farther we look into space, the farther back in time we begin to see. The Milky Way is not a solid thing. It is a vast tapestry woven from the remnants of countless other worlds. Over billions of years, our galaxy has been a patient collector. It draws in smaller, lonely galaxies and slowly unravels them, scattering their stars like seeds into its spinning disk. One such galaxy, the Sagittarius dwarf, is being unraveled even now. We are made of pieces of other worlds carried across space and time, a beautiful cosmic collage stitched together by the universe itself. Not every star belongs to a cluster. Some are the hermits of the sky. High above the bright arms of the galaxy, in the galactic halo, they wander alone. These are the ancient stars, the very first to form. Their chemical fingerprints are pure and simple. They carry no heavy metals, for they were born before the universe knew how to make them. They move in long, eccentric loops, silent observers of the turning wheel below. They are the elders of the galaxy, and they are in no hurry. We are moving. Even as you lie still, you are traveling. Our sun races through the dark at 800,000 kilometers per hour. Yet the galaxy is so immense that it takes 230 million years to complete a single circle. The dinosaurs were here the last time we passed through this part of space. Feel the steady, rhythmic pull of that path. It is not a rush, it is a grand, slow rotation. Why does it all stay together? If we count only the stars we see, the math does not work. The galaxy should fly apart. The stars should scatter like sparks in the wind. But they stay, held by the invisible, dark matter. It does not glow. It does not whisper. It simply sits, heavy and silent, providing the weight we need. It is the unseen foundation of our home, reliable, constant, ever present. At the very center lies a point of absolute stillness, Sagittarius A star, a supermassive black hole. 4 million suns are condensed into a single, silent stitch in the fabric of space. It is the anchor of our galaxy. It does not devour the stars, it guides them. Stars near it dance with incredible speed, whipping around the darkness. But out here, in the quiet suburbs, we only feel its steady, calming grip. The spiral arms are not solid structures. They are density waves. Think of a slow traffic jam on a long highway. The cars move through it and come out the other side, but the jam stays. That is a spiral arm. It is a place where gas and dust slow down and crowd together. In that pressure, new stars are sparked into life. The arms are bright because they are where the galaxy is waking up, a slow, glowing wave of creation. Not all planets have a sun to call home. There are billions of rogue worlds drifting in the deep cold. They were cast out during the chaos of a star's birth, and now they follow the currents of the galaxy itself. Dark, untethered, free, they drift through the gaps between the stars. Perhaps they carry frozen oceans or hidden heat in their cores. Silent travelers in a sea of night. Our galaxy is not a flat, perfect plate. It is warped, bent at the edges like a spinning record left in the sun. One side curls up, the other curls down. This is the result of a billion-year tug-of-war. Satellite galaxies pull at us as they pass, while dark matter nudges us from below. The Milky Way is a living, flexing shape, never fixed, always adjusting to the invisible winds of space. In the great city of stars, location is everything. Too close to the center and the radiation is too fierce, the stars too crowded. Too far to the edge and the ingredients for life are too thin, too rare. But here, in our quiet corner, the balance is perfect. A Goldilocks zone in the cosmos, not too crowded, not too empty, just enough heavy elements to build a world and enough peace for that world to dream. We live in the garden of the galaxy. Interstellar space is not empty. It is filled with a fine, dark soot, microscopic grains of carbon and silicates forged in the depths of ancient stars. This dust drifts through the galaxy in long, graceful tendrils. It dims the light of distant suns, casting quiet shadows across the Milky Way. But this dust is also the raw material of the future. Every rock on Earth, every mountain, every grain of sand begins as this floating cosmic ash. The galaxy has a pulse we cannot see with our eyes. A vast magnetic field threads through the spiral arms. It guides the path of cosmic rays and shapes the clouds of gas as they slowly collapse. In a way, it acts like a nervous system for the Milky Way, connecting the bright core to the distant rim. An invisible web stretching across the light years, quietly stirring the darkness and guiding the flow of matter like a river within a river. Rising above and below our galaxy are two ghosts of energy. Vast bubbles of gamma rays stretch tens of thousands of light years into space. They are invisible to the naked eye, yet they glow with fierce intensity in the darkness. They are the remnants of an ancient violent breath, a time when the central black hole awakened and exhaled. Though they are quiet now, they remind us of the power that rests at the heart of the Milky Way. Giant plumes of light standing tall above the turning disk. The atoms in your body are ancient travelers. The iron in your blood was forged in the final seconds of a collapsing star. The oxygen in your lungs was once exhaled by a dying red giant. We are the galaxy's way of recycling itself. Every star that dies scatters its heart into the void, and every new world gathers those pieces together again. You are not just looking at the Milky Way. You are a part of it, a small piece of the galaxy that has awakened just long enough to wonder. Let us look at our local neighborhood. We live in a small bridge of stars called the Orion Spur. It rests quietly between two vast spiral arms of the Milky Way. In this gentle corner of the galaxy, the stars drift with calm and patience, far from the crowded brilliance of the galactic core. This distance is a gift. It gave Earth billions of quiet years, years for life to appear, to grow, and to slowly awaken, and eventually to pause for a moment and simply rest beneath the stars. If we could see the sky in high resolution, we would see ribbons, thin, delicate arcs of stars wrap around the galaxy like silk threads. These are the stellar streams, the ruins of dwarf galaxies pulled apart by the Milky Way's gravity. They are the fossils of motion, tracing the paths of ancient collisions. The galaxy carries its history in these loops of light, a story written in the stars, once part of someone else's sky. In the deep shadows of the spiral arms, it is very, very cold, a few degrees above absolute zero. Here, hydrogen atoms pair up to form molecules. These clouds are the densest, darkest parts of the galaxy. They are the only places where gravity can finally win its battle. In the absolute chill, the gas begins to fall inward. It is the silence before the storm, the cold, dark womb of 1,000 new suns. At the heart of our spiral lies a bridge of stars, the galactic bar, a long straight structure of aging suns crossing the center. It rotates slowly, acting like a giant stirrer in a cosmic pot. It funnels gas toward the center, feeding the core. It shapes the orbits of everything nearby. Not all spirals have such a bar, but ours does. A firm, glowing axis at the center of the swirl. Sometimes, two dead stars, neutron stars, find each other. They dance closer and closer until they collide in a kilonova. In that single, immense flash, the heaviest elements in the universe are born: gold, platinum, uranium. This precious metal is sprayed into the dark, drifting for eons until it settles on a cooling planet. The ring on your finger, or the gold in the earth, is a piece of a collision that happened before the world began. Not every star follows the rules of the road. While most of the galaxy turns in one grand, unified direction, some stars move backward. They orbit in retrograde against the flow of the billions. These stars are visitors, immigrants from other galaxies that were absorbed long ago. They retain the motion of their original home, a stubborn, quiet memory of where they began. Even in the vastness of the Milky Way, some keep their own rhythm. As you lie there, a silent rain is falling through you. Trillions of tiny particles called neutrinos. They are born in the fusion fires of the sun and the deaths of distant stars. They are so small and so fast that matter is like a ghost to them. They pass through your roof, through your pillow, through the earth itself, without touching a single atom. An invisible, constant stream of cosmic information. The universe is talking, even if we cannot hear the words. If you could see our galaxy from the side, you would see it is not flat. The edges are curled. One side bends up, the other bends down, like a giant glowing wave. This warp is caused by the unseen pull of the Magellanic Clouds, two smaller galaxies that orbit us, tugging at our sleeves. The Milky Way is not a rigid object. It is a flexible, living structure, responding to the gravity of its companions with a slow, elegant bend. Our galaxy is not a lonely island. It is part of a small cosmic family called the local group. 50 galaxies bound together by the invisible threads of gravity. Andromeda, our larger sister, is the most prominent, but there are others. The triangular spiral, dozens of tiny dwarf galaxies orbiting like moths around a flame. We are drifting together through the void, a small cluster of light in an ocean of darkness. Deep in the distance, far beyond the stars we can name, something is pulling on us. The Great Attractor, a mysterious, massive concentration of gravity. It is drawing our entire galaxy and thousands of others toward it. We are falling through space, slowly, steadily, toward a destination we cannot see. It is the hidden current of the universe, carrying us home to a place we have never been. The flat disk of our galaxy, the place where we live, is younger than the halo that surrounds it. It took billions of years for the gas to settle, for the spin to flatten the shape. The stars in the disk are the children of the galaxy. They are rich in metals. They are bright. They are full of the energy of a maturing universe. We live in the most active, most vibrant layer of history, a thin, glowing slice of time. Scattered through the arms are clouds that hold no stars, Bach globules, small, isolated cocoons of dark gas. They are the most frigid places in the cosmos, Inside them, the light of the entire universe is blocked out. It is a place of perfect, absolute silence. But within that cold, the ingredients for life are protected. Complex molecules, ice, dust. The seeds of a future world waiting for the right moment to wake. The stars at the very edge of the Milky Way move faster than they should. According to the math of what we can see, they should fly off into the dark. But something holds them. An invisible, heavy presence. The dark matter halo. It acts like a giant cosmic container, ensuring that no star is left behind. It is the reason our spiral remains a spiral. The unseen strength that keeps the family together. When a massive star dies, it does not go quietly. It exhales its entire being in a supernova. This explosion creates a shock wave, a wind that travels for light years. It clears out the dust. It enriches the gas with the elements of life. It is a violent event, but its purpose is renewal. The wind of a dying star pushes on the clouds of the next generation. One star falls so that 1,000 others may rise. The breath of the ancestors moving the galaxy forward. The galaxy is a clock that never needs winding. Every star is a tick. Every orbit is a talk. It moves with a precision that dwarfs our human calendars. As you sleep, the clock continues to turn. The stars shift their positions by a fraction of a degree. The core pulses. The halo drifts. You are resting in the heart of a perfect, eternal machine. It has been running for 13 billion years, and it will run for billions more. Every piece of gold ever found, every bit of silver, every ounce of platinum was forged in the heart of a cataclysm. It took the collision of two dead suns to make the ring on a finger. The galaxy does not make precious things easily. It requires the most intense heat, the most immense pressure. We carry these cosmic treasures with us. The Earth is a vault filled with the wreckage of stars that died before our sun was born. There is a wind that blows between the stars, not a wind of air, but of particles. The solar wind from our sun meets the breath of the galaxy. Where they clash, a boundary is formed, the heliopause. It is the edge of our home's influence. Beyond it lies the true, deep, interstellar medium, a place of cold plasma and ancient magnetic fields. Our little bubble floating in a vast, silent ocean. Most stars in the galaxy are not like our sun. They are small, cool, red. These are the red dwarfs. They are the marathon runners of the universe. Because they burn their fuel so slowly, they can live for trillions of years. Long after our sun has faded, these small, amber lights will still be burning. They are the quiet majority, the steady, patient embers of the Milky Way. The galaxy has a way of breathing. When supernovas explode in the disk, they shoot hot gas upward, thousands of light years into the halo. There, the gas cools. It slows, and eventually it falls back down like a gentle, cosmic rain. This is the galactic fountain. It keeps the gas of the galaxy fresh. It mixes the old with the new, a constant vertical cycle of renewal. For a long time, astronomers looked for the missing gas, the matter that should be there but was hidden. They found it in the warm, hot interstellar medium, a thin, transparent fog that fills the gaps between galaxies. It is hard to detect. It is almost a vacuum, but it is the reservoir of the universe, the extra material waiting to be pulled in to start the story of a new galaxy billions of years from now. Our sun is a rarity, traveling alone. Most stars in the Milky Way have a companion, two suns locked in a gravitational embrace. They orbit each other for billions of years, a binary dance. In some systems, they are so close they touch. In others, they are light years apart. Imagine a world with two shadows, two sunsets, a double rhythm in a single, peaceful sky. If you could look at the universe from very far away, you would see it looks like a sponge. The galaxies are the fibers, and in between them are the voids, immense bubbles of nothing, millions of light years of absolute emptiness. No stars, no dust, just the expansion of space itself. We live on the edge of such a void, looking out into the most quiet, most hollow places in existence. The galaxy is a giant magnet. Its field lines curve through the spiral arms, guiding the dust like iron filings on a sheet of paper. This magnetism is weak, but it is everywhere. It helps clouds collapse into stars. It prevents cosmic rays from hitting planets too hard. It is a silent, protective shield, a cosmic compass that we are only just beginning to read. Even in the darkest part of the Milky Way, there is light, the cosmic microwave background, a faint, uniform glow. It is the afterglow of the beginning of time. It has been cooling for 13.8 billion years. It fills every corner of your room. It passes through the stars. It is the background hum of the universe, the first note of the song still ringing in the deep, quiet dark. Water is not a rare thing in the galaxy. It is everywhere. Deep within the molecular clouds, frozen on grains of dust, inside the rings of distant planets, on the surface of wandering comets. The water in your glass, the water in your body, is older than the Earth. It was formed in the cold spaces between the stars long before our sun began to shine. We drink the ancient liquid history of the cosmos. If we could see through the dust, the center of our galaxy would be blinding, a dense, glowing city of millions of stars. They are mostly old stars, red, orange, yellow. They huddle together for warmth around the central black hole. It is the most crowded, most ancient part of our home, a place where the night never truly falls, a permanent, golden twilight. The sun is not moving toward a random point. It is traveling toward a destination, the solar apex, near the bright star Vega. We are leaning into the wind of the galaxy, leading the way for all the planets, like a mother bird leading her fledglings through the forest. Everything you know is following that lead, into the unknown, into the future, at 20 kilometers every single second. Most of the gas in the galaxy is neutral. It does not glow with heat. It does not burn with light. It simply is. We detect it by the silent radio waves it emits, the 21-centimeter line, the song of hydrogen. It allows us to map the spiral arms even when we cannot see them, the quiet radio heartbeat of the galaxy's skeleton. In the aftermath of a star's death, a heartbeat remains, a pulsar, a star the size of a city, spinning hundreds of times a second. It sends out beams of light like a lighthouse in the dark, precise, steady, constant. The galaxy is filled with these rhythmic, ticking suns. They are the cosmic metronomes, counting the seconds of eternity, while the rest of the universe drifts into sleep. Between us and our neighbor galaxies, a bridge exists, a long stream of neutral hydrogen gas stretching across the intergalactic void. The Magellanic Bridge. It is an umbilical cord of matter, connecting the Milky Way to the small and large Magellanic Clouds. A slow transfer of material across the dark. Even galaxies need to touch. A photon of light is born in the heart of the sun. It takes 100,000 years just to struggle to the surface. It bounces, it reflects, it waits. But once it breaks free into the vacuum, it crosses the distance to Earth in only 8 minutes. To the photon, time does not exist. It arrives at your window the very instant it is born. A traveler from a timeless, radiant world. Every now and then, a star is cast out, a hypervelocity star. It was once part of a pair dancing too close to the central black hole. One star was captured, the other was thrown outward at millions of miles per hour. It is moving too fast for gravity to hold it. It is leaving the Milky Way forever. A lonely, blazing exile, destined to spend eternity in the empty spaces between the galaxies. Our eyes see the dust as darkness, but through an infrared lens, the dust glows. It reveals the heat of hidden stars. The Milky Way transforms from a black and white map into a vibrant, colorful heatscape. The shadows become the brightest parts of the sky. It reminds us that there are many ways to see, and many truths hidden in the dark. We are halfway through our tour of the night. The galaxy has turned a little further. The stars have shifted. Your breathing is deep and slow. We have looked at the anchors and the wanderers, the light and the shadow. There is so much more to see, but for now, let the silence of the lecture hall be enough. Above the spinning disk are the globular clusters. They are the oldest neighborhoods in the galaxy. Tightly packed spheres of up to 1,000,000 stars, crowded so closely together that the night sky on a planet inside them would be as bright as a room filled with lanterns. These stars are senior citizens. They have survived for 12 billion years. They are the survivors of the early universe. Steady, golden, immortal. Between the Milky Way and Andromeda, there is a scattering of lonely stars, intergalactic tramps. They belong to no galaxy. They were flung out during ancient collisions, and now they drift in the absolute, terrifying void. They have no neighbors, no nebulae, just the deep, black silence of the space between the islands. They are the ultimate nomads, traveling across the nothingness for trillions of years. Every breath you take contains atoms that have been through the hearts of 3 different stars. The carbon in your lungs, the nitrogen in your DNA, they were forged in different eras of the galaxy's history. They were scattered into the interstellar medium, where they drifted for millions of years before gravity pulled them together to make the Earth. You are a walking, breathing library of the stars. We often talk of the galaxy as a disk, but it is more like a sphere. The visible stars are just a thin plate in the middle of a giant, invisible ball. The dark matter halo. It stretches 10 times farther than the furthest star. It is the anchor of our world. It does not emit light. It does not absorb it. It is a ghost that carries the weight of 1,000,000,000,000 suns, holding the spiral together while the universe tries to pull it apart. Massive stars do not wait to die to share their riches. They are constantly exhaling. Stellar winds moving at thousands of kilometers per second. They blow giant bubbles in the gas around them. They sculpt the clouds into strange, beautiful shapes. They are the artists of the galaxy, carving the void with the power of their light. A constant, radiant pressure that shapes the future of everything nearby. Looking away from the Milky Way, there is a place in the sky called the Boötes Void. It is an enormous, empty bubble, 250 million light years across. If the Milky Way were in the center of that void, we wouldn't have known other galaxies existed until the 1960s. It is the most lonely place in the reachable universe, a desert of space, a kingdom of nothing, the quietest corner of the map. Space is not just gas and dust. It is a laboratory. Astronomers have found the building blocks of life floating in the giant clouds of the Milky Way. Sugars, alcohols, amino acids. The chemistry of life is being practiced in the dark, billions of miles from any planet. The universe is not trying to be empty. It is trying to be alive. Every cloud is a recipe, waiting for a planet to land on. There are stars that breathe, the Cepheid variables. They grow larger and brighter, then smaller and dimmer, in a perfect rhythmic cycle. They are the cosmic yardsticks. Because their pulse is so predictable, We can use them to measure the distance to the edge of the galaxy. They are the glowing, beating hearts that tell us exactly where we are in the dark. The Milky Way is a zero-waste system. Nothing is ever truly lost. The gas that makes a star is returned to the galaxy when that star dies. It is cooled, cleaned, and used again. The hydrogen in your body has likely been part of several different stars over the last 10 billion years. We are made of second-hand light, third-hand dust, and eternal, recycled energy. Near the center of the galaxy, time begins to behave strangely. As you approach the supermassive black hole, gravity becomes so strong that it bends time itself. For an observer watching from far away, anything falling in would appear to slow down and eventually stop, frozen forever at the edge of the darkness. At the center of our home, time and space are locked in a silent, eternal embrace. Imagine a great glowing heart, the central bulge. It is a thick, golden swell of stars at the very middle of our spiral. Unlike the thin, flat arms where we live, the bulge is dense. 10,000 stars for every one in our neighborhood. The night sky there would be as bright as a room filled with candles. Most of these stars are red giants, old and wise. They have watched the galaxy take shape, and they huddle together in a warm, permanent twilight. When you look at the Great Rift, that dark lane across the sky, you are not looking at an empty space. You are looking at a shadow, an immense, cold curtain of dust blocking the light of billions of stars. If that dust were not there, the center of our galaxy would be so bright that it would cast shadows on the ground at night. The dust is a veil. It keeps the secrets of the core hidden, providing a quiet, dim porch for us to sit upon. Look at the Crab Nebula or the Sigma Sloop. They are the tattered, glowing veils of stars that died long ago, ripples of gas expanding at thousands of miles per second. They are the paintings of the cosmos, but they are also fertilizer. In their wreckage, they carry the heavy elements needed for life. A supernova is not just an ending, it is a scattered, radiant beginning, the dust of a king becoming the garden of a new world. Beyond the giant at the center, there are smaller shadows, stellar mass black holes, the remains of single massive stars that collapsed under their own weight. They are invisible, but they are there. Tens of millions of them, drifting like silent ghosts through the spiral arms. We only see them when they catch a passing star in their grip. A brief, violent flare of light in the dark. Then, silence. The unseen, heavy residents of the deep. High above the southern horizon, two small patches of light drift. The large and small Magellanic Clouds, satellite galaxies. They are our constant companions, tethered to the Milky Way by the long, invisible ropes of gravity. They are smaller, wilder, and filled with young, blue stars. They are falling toward us, distorting our shape as they pull. Even a giant needs friends in the dark. Space is not a vacuum. It is a sea of plasma, ionized gas carrying a faint electric charge. It ripples like an ocean when a star moves through it. It carries the magnetic fields of the galaxy. a vast electric soup holding the stars in its lukewarm, steady embrace. There are stars that never quite made it, the brown dwarfs, too small to ignite the fusion fires in their hearts, too large to be called planets. They are the failed stars, cool, dim, and glowing only in the infrared. They drift through the galaxy like dying embers in a fireplace. They are the quiet, hidden workers of the night, existing in the space between, neither dark nor light. At the very center, a great bridge of stars is turning, the galactic bar. It acts as a giant stirrer, pushing gas into the core. Every few 100 million years, it completes its slow, heavy rotation. It is the engine of the spiral. It creates the pressure that makes the arms grow. A firm, glowing axis, providing the rhythm for the entire galaxy, the steady, central beat of the turning wheel. Imagine a world drifting alone, a moon that has lost its planet. Passed out during a cosmic collision, it wanders the void. It carries no light of its own. It reflects no sun. It is a silent, frozen pebble in the dark. There may be trillions of them hidden in the gaps between the stars, unseen travelers, waiting for a new gravity to find them. The distance between us and Andromeda is shrinking, 110 kilometers every second. But space is so vast that we will not meet for billions of years. We live in the quiet time, the era of the Great Preparation. The stars are in their places. The night is still. We have plenty of time to dream. The lecture hall is warm, and the universe is waiting for you to rest. Our galaxy is a home with many floors. We live in the thin disk where the stars are young and the gas is fresh. But just above and below us lies the thick disk, an older, puffier layer of suns. These stars are senior citizens. They moved away from the center long ago, or perhaps they were stirred up by a passing satellite galaxy. They move in wider, more tilted paths, like the dusty top shelf of a library, holding stories from a much earlier era of the world. Gravity is not a static weight. It is a tide. As we orbit the center, we feel the pull of the great spiral arms. We rise and fall through the plane of the galaxy, like a cork bobbing on a slow-moving river. Every 30 million years, we reach the peak of our climb. Then we begin the long, slow slide back down. A rhythmic, vertical motion, a cosmic pulse that we share with every star in our neighborhood. When a star like our sun reaches its end, it leaves behind a diamond, a white dwarf. The glowing, superheated core, about the size of the Earth. It has no fuel left. It simply sits in the dark, cooling down over trillions of years. It is the most efficient lamp in the universe, steady, dying, but never quite going out. A galaxy is filled with these cooling embers, the final white signatures of suns that were once great. Inside the Orion Nebula, a storm is raging. Strong stellar winds and intense radiation from newborn suns are carving out a giant, glowing cavity. It looks like a canyon of gas and light. The edges are scalloped, frayed, and beautiful. It is a place of absolute chaos, but from our distance, it looks like a painting. Proof that even the most violent storms can look like peace when viewed from far enough away. Some of the star ribbons we see are not from galaxies. They are the remains of globular clusters, small, dense balls of stars that were stretched out into long, thin lines. These streams are very narrow, very delicate. They wrap around the Milky Way like silver chains. By tracking them, astronomers can see the lumps in our dark matter, the invisible landscape of the galaxy, revealed by the trails of those who fell apart. If you could fly through a dust plane, it would not be a solid wall. It would be a very fine, very thin mist. You wouldn't even know you were inside it. But across thousands of light years, that mist adds up. It reddens the light of the stars, making them look like embers. It is the atmosphere of the galaxy, a smoky, protective layer, filtering the harsh light of the core into a soft, amber glow. In the deep dark, some stars are thieves, a dense, dead star pulling gas away from a living neighbor. As the gas piles up on the surface, it reaches a breaking point, a sudden, brilliant X-ray burst, a flash that lights up the surrounding space for a few seconds before settling back into a slow, hungry simmer. The galaxy is full of these tiny, energetic flickers, a nervous, hidden electricity running through the quiet arms. In the constellation of Centaurus, there is a cloud called the Boomerang. It is the coldest natural place in the known universe, colder even than the empty space between the galaxies. It is a star exhaling its outer layers so fast that the gas cools down as it expands, a cosmic refrigerator. In this one spot, the universe has reached its minimum, a place of absolute frozen stillness, waiting for the heat of the stars to return. A galaxy does not turn like a whirlpool. In a whirlpool, the center moves fast and the edges move slow. But the Milky Way turns like a solid wheel. The outer stars keep up with the inner ones. This should be impossible, unless there is a secret weight holding the outer stars in place, a heavy, invisible halo. We turn together, not as a collection of parts, but as a single, unified mystery. Our sun protects us from the galaxy, the heliosphere, a giant magnetic bubble that deflects the cosmic rays of deep space. As we travel through the spiral, we are encased in this shield. It keeps the high-energy particles at bay. It provides a quiet, safe pocket for life to grow. We are travelers in a vast radioactive ocean, but we have a home that keeps the storms outside. Deep in the crust of our own Earth, we find iron. It is common, heavy, and strong, but its origin is the story of a star's final breath. Iron is the last element a massive star can create before it collapses. It is the ash of nuclear fusion. When a star begins to make iron, it knows its time is short. Every iron atom in your blood was forged in the very last second of a sun that lived for millions of years. We carry the final, heavy signature of the ancients within us. The gas we see today is not the same gas the first stars used. It is enriched. It has been processed, seasoned, and changed by generations of life and death. With every supernova, the galaxy becomes more complex. More oxygen, more carbon, more gold. The Milky Way is getting thicker with the ingredients of life. The universe is a kitchen, slowly, patiently, perfecting its recipe for a conscious world. Our galaxy is not the end of the map. We belong to a structure so vast it defies the imagination. Laniaka, the immeasurable heaven, a supercluster of 100,000 galaxies flowing like a river. From this height, the Milky Way is just a single drop of light. We are part of a grand cosmic current, falling toward the great attractor in a slow, silent migration. Even in the void, we are never truly alone. If you could see the sky in microwaves, the whole universe would glow. A faint, uniform hum of radiation. The cosmic microwave background. The afterglow of the Big Bang itself. It has been traveling for 13.8 billion years. It is the ultimate background noise. The first light cooled by the expansion of space until it became a soft, invisible blanket, enveloping every star and every sleeper in the same ancient warmth. There are places in the galaxy where no new stars are born. The elliptical clusters, the retired neighborhoods. The gas has all been used up or blown away. Only the old red stars remain. They are peaceful places. No more explosions, no more chaos. Just the long, slow dimming of billions of suns. The galaxy's quiet, golden retirement. As you rest, imagine the neutrinos. They are passing through the entire Earth as if it were made of glass. They come from the center of our sun. They come from the edges of the universe. They are the ultimate messengers, carrying news from places we can never go. They do not stop. They do not slow down. They simply pass through, silent and indifferent, a reminder that most of the universe happens in the spaces we cannot feel. The spiral arms will not last forever. In the very distant future, the gas will run out. The density waves will slow. The bright blue stars will fade, and no new ones will take their place. The galaxy will settle into a smooth orange glow, a mature, quiet state. But that is trillions of years away. For now, the arms are still turning, the fire is still burning, and the story is still being written. Gravity is the only force that never sleeps. It is a constant, patient tug. It pulls the dust together. It keeps the planets in their tracks. It holds your body to the bed. Think of it as the universe's way of hugging you, a steady, grounding pressure, ensuring that you are exactly where you are supposed to be, safe, held, in the center of a turning world. The lecture is concluding now. The notes are finished. The heavy books are being closed. You have traveled from the black hole at the center to the dark matter at the rim. You have seen the birth of suns and the collisions of galaxies. And through it all, one truth remains. The universe is vast, but it is also home. You are a piece of the stars that has found a place to rest. I am leaving the lecture hall now. I am turning out the lanterns one by one. The room is growing darker. The embers in the fireplace are just a soft, red glow. The stars will continue their work without us. The Milky Way will turn. The light will travel. And you will sleep. I am the sleepy professor. Class is dismissed. Good night, and sleep well.